What's going on, people? We are back again with another Moving Mad video, and this one right here is all about Nikki. Nikki from the most recent season of 90 Day Fiancé, season 10. The same woman that pretty much, in my humble opinion, manipulated Igor, aka Justin, into wanting her because she lied about her true identity. She lied about her actual biological gender. And not only does she lie about it, but then she tells him this in a situation where they are having a heated argument out of spite, which tells you and shows you how toxic this woman is. But with that being said, though, we have some new information coming in right now about how she is a scammer, not only to just anyone and everyone, but to also people that are very, very close to her. But before we get into it, I just want to give a shout out to Ghost of Lisa Baby's Toll, because this is the person who's provided these screenshots of these conversations. I believe she is the person that had the conversation with the person that is exposing Nikki. So with that being said, let's get it. So if you're looking at your screens right now, this person's come out with a very interesting conversation. I was friends with Nikki. She's a paid escort, not a hairstylist. She also was convicted of Medicaid fraud. She forged my name on a lease for 3 years in the apartment she's filming in. I have all the receipts, and trust me when I tell you, the receipts are here. Conversation continues. Now, of course, we all knew about the fraud because that's something that I already spoke about. But what we didn't know is that she scams her friends too, as is stated here by the person that's having this conversation with Nikki's ex-friend. I mean, you question if that person was ever Nikki's friend in Nikki's eyes, but we continue. Now, she continues by saying, also, you're spot on. She purchased her followers. And the thing is, when it comes to the follower part, you know, a lot of people have been speculating why Nikki thinks that she's famous or whatnot. And also people have been speculating that her likes, her engagement on her page doesn't necessarily match her followers, you know. So that's why obviously this one's quite interesting. But we move on. Bought her own ring. I can tell I had her pegged even before the show started. Staged the engagement. Flew him into Cancun while she owed $7,000 in back rent under my name. And this whole rent situation gets worse. If you noticed, she says she was wait for rental assistance, but she's flying all over the place. She's trash. I want people to know who she really is, a scammer. You know what? I think, to be honest with you, it was quite clear that she was a scammer anyway, without us even needing this information. But she also used to smoke crack and has missing tooth. I believe I have the video you want to see. Now, sadly, that video wasn't provided to us, but I can imagine hopefully it was provided to the person in conversation. Now we continue here where it says, I got her the apartment in New Jersey, and the lease was supposed to be for a year, and then it was to be put in her name. She asked me a year later to renew, and I told her I couldn't because me and my husband were looking to buy our own condo. She said, okay, no problem, but kept renewing the lease behind my back. With that being said, we continue here where she continues by saying, so the lease renewal was being sent to her via email, I believe, and she signed for 3 more years without my consent. Then COVID hit. She tried to scam and get rent relief and stop paying the rent. Her own friend at the time told me after they had fallen out, and obviously I'm assuming the friend told her about the fact that, you know, Nikki was using her name this whole time to renew to renew this place. But the thing is, though, the thing that I don't really understand is that why did you help Nikki though? Why did you put your name down for Nikki? That is the question right there. And the reason why I bring that question is because the only time people could do that is if your friend is in a financial situation. You see what I'm saying? Then a situation that isn't healthy. Now, either way, though, you know, for me personally, I don't really believe in necessarily, you know, helping someone that is in a serious financial situation, because if they're in a serious financial situation, you have to ask the question, why has this person not been able to get out of it? You know, or how long have they been in it? And what are they doing to work out of it? Do you see what I'm saying? So to be fair with you, I do question why this person felt so open to actually want to help Nikki out, you know? Because I know I wouldn't. You know what I mean? Like, let's keep it a buck. Now, here comes the receipts. Okay. Now this is an email obviously involving Nikki, where the conversation goes, I just tried calling. Call me. I just paid 2 more months of rent on Saturday, 30th. I have all corresponding messages with the landlord and said nothing would happen with eviction and that I could stay here. I already spoke with the legal team. They said they would dismiss the docket. I don't know. I can't see that word. Is that the docket? Is that a word? What's a docket? Okay, my apologies for that one. Anyway, I'm pretty sure it's meant to say documents. I don't know, but anyway, again, this is all because I was waiting on the rental assistance from the state, which has not shown up yet. Best wishes, NE Management, Charity Manager, Artist Nikki. The way this email has been put out in such a professional way. But anyway, we move on to the next piece of evidence. Following up, case dismissed. I know you're really upset with me, but hopefully one day you can take the time and I can explain to you everything. We're taking your name off the lease. You know what? That was funny. You can take the name of the lease all you want, but the point isn't the fact that you're taking the name of the lease now. The lease now. The point is that you've been using her name on the lease without her consent. That is the problem here. But I love the way how Nikki is, not wanting to see the situation for what it is, or at least purposely ignoring it. It continues by saying, that was the plan for the next lease renewal. I fixed my situation with my denial. I kept popping up on my solo lease application. And that is the reason why I couldn't take you off before. I know I should have told you the truth, and I'm wrong for that. I'm sorry, but please forgive me, and please listen to what I had to say. I'm not a bad person. But I do make poor choices, and I should have been honest with you. This isn't a matter of making a poor choice. It is not a matter of making a poor choice. This is a matter of making a conscious choice. 3 years, okay? It's a conscious choice. The same way you made a conscious choice to not tell Justin Igor about the fact that you was a biologically born a woman. These are all choices. None of these are mistakes. None of these are poor choices. These are conscious choices. A fine line between a poor choice and a conscious choice. Maybe you can say it's the same thing, but what I'm trying to say to you is, if you make that choice a conscious choice, which all choices are, then you can never tell me there was a poor choice necessarily depending on the situation. In this situation, this is not a poor choice. This is a choice where you have decided to use somebody else's identity for your own purpose. And that is it. There's no other way to look at it. You cannot apologize and say poor choices. Get the hell out of here with that BS. Now, with that being said, this is the last little bit of receipts. As you can see, a conversation here with Nikki. And I got out of the situation and fixed the situation. There should have never been a situation. The situation had nothing to do with Ricky. You received the eviction notice with both our names. It was between you and I would have helped you if you were honest from the beginning instead of being behind my back. I could have had you arrested for forging my name without my consent for what? Basically from 2019 up until now. You already received the eviction notice before you left to Cancun with your man, and you still went on a vacation instead of paying your rent. Ricky only told me to check my credit score, and I did the rest by removing my name off the lease and digging deeper. I tell you what. Okay. There is nothing that Nikki can do that can convince me, and I'd like to think to convince any of you guys she's not a scammer, that she's not a liar, that she does not do things on purpose knowing that it's going to hurt others, because all she cares about is how it's going to benefit her. I would love to know how many men that she has lied to about her identity. How many men that she has used to just be with her. But also at the same time, let's not forget, she's someone who is a escort, right? So Lord knows how many of those men that have been her clients, how many that she's maybe robbed. Because let's be real, in the world that we live in, it has been heavily reported that there's a line of work between some escort strippers and XYZ who will purposely drug certain people just to kill from them. I would not be surprised if that came out at some point that there's a record behind that. I wouldn't be surprised. Because this is something that I expect to see from her because of the way she is. A liar. Someone that can't be truthful. Somebody that will do anything that they need to do to get what they want. I am utterly disgusted that Justin, aka Igor, or the other way around, has decided to take this woman back. A part of me feels sorry for him because she's obviously heavily manipulated him. But at the same time, if you're a man, you should find the strength to never want to go back to such a cruel human being. This isn't about the fact that she's trans, you know? I'm not saying that he shouldn't be going with her because she's trans. But I'm saying he shouldn't be with her because she's the scum of the earth. She's not a truthful person. Disgusting. Utterly disgusting. She's someone who sets traps, and she wants people to fall into them. And then once people fall into them, she will then take advantage. Like, for example, in this situation here, she set this little trap to get someone else's name on the lease. And then she took full advantage of that lease and then wants to say, sorry, I make poor choices. Like, that makes a difference. She set the trap to find men who were going to be with her and fulfill her sexually because of her sexual desires without the intentions of telling them who she really is. But then once she gets them hooked in that trap, at some point, the information will then come out. And then she somehow seems to win this guy back in. I really hope that by the end of the season, he walks away from her. I really hope that's where the story is going. People like her do not deserve to win. They don't deserve to win in life until they become honest. But hey, let me know what you're thinking. I want to know if you are as disgusted as I am. Peace.